So in this example, we would like to find the volume of the following cone, given that the slant height is 18 inches and the diameter is 20 inches. So again, thinking about what our units are, they're both in inches, but let's draw it on our diagram so that we know what things represent. So our slant height is 18 inches. So that's this S value right here, so 18 inches. And we have a diameter equal to 20 inches. So that means our radius, if we cut that in half, our radius is equal to 10 inches. And again, our goal is to actually find our volume. So remember, the cone formula is very similar to what we saw in the pyramid. It has the exact same formula related to it. So volume is going to be area of the base multiplied by the height of the shape, and we're going to divide that by 3. So right now we need to find area and we need to find height. So height in this case isn't actually given in the question. So similar to one that we did in terms of surface area, we do need to think about using Pythagorean theorem to actually find out what the height is. And then again, we don't know the area of the base, but we do know that we can look at that as a two-dimensional shape and find out what that value is. So in order to find our volume formula, we should find our area, find our height, and then we'll plug into our formula at that point. So let's start with area of our base. So our base is a circle, and we said we have a radius of 10 inches. So I'm going to use that particular formula. So area is pi r squared. You can use the diameter one as well. So pi, our radius is 10, and we're going to square that. So plugging that into your calculator is 314.1592, etc., and that is in inches squared. So we have part of our volume formula done. We also need the height though. So again, remember, we don't actually have this height, but we do know the slant height and we do know the radius part. So we do know we can use Pythagorean theorem in terms of this triangle to find out what we need for our volume. So let's consider that triangle. So we do know the slant height is 18 inches. We do know that the radius of the circle is 10 inches. And we would like to find out what basically our height is here. So we are going to use Pythagorean theorem. Just watch carefully that we do know the hypotenuse, so it's the altered version of Pythagorean theorem. So our slant height is actually going to be equivalent to basically our C value for Pythagorean theorem. Remember, C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared, which means we can change that up a little bit, and A would be equivalent to the square root C squared minus B squared. So this is really our slant or our hypotenuse. So we'll plug in those values. So 18 squared minus 10 squared. So you end up getting the square root of 224, or approximately equal to 14.966, etc., and this is just a height. So this is just in inches. So now we have our height, we have our area. We can plug in both of those values into our original volume formula. So our area is 314.1592. Our height is equivalent to 14.966. And we're going to take that value and we're going to divide by 3. So when I plug that into my calculator, I end up getting 1,567.3017, etc., and I'm just going to round that to 2 decimal places. So 1,567.30. It is a volume, so we put in inches squared times inches. So coming out, our value is going to be in inches cubed.